Alright, I am back at it on this Dodge Dakota here. Got everything rearranged, even picked up a refrigerator that works perfectly fine, and as well as a actual oven back there works fine. They just didn't really want it to, it didn't match with their interior, so works for me. I'll take that. I might actually have a project for that or that, more than likely that. But regardless, this is in here. It still needs the EGR valve. I'm getting ready to order that one for the Honda, but right now I have this nice 3.7 liter Dakota that still does not want to run right. It seems like it is this bank, not that bank. So with that being said, I've replaced the injectors. I've also replaced the ignition coils, and I've done the map sensor as well as a few other small sensors like the idle air control valve. That wasn't it. I actually smoke leak tested it, as you can see right there kind of in the background. I did that, and it didn't show any. Well, it did show a leak, and I did replace that hose because it was down here. Right now my battery is so low that I need to go charge it so I can have light on and show you that I am on to replacing the O2 sensors. And there was a inner shield here that I had to take out. There's all the lovely rivets down there, that plastic holders, I don't know what you want to call them, but those are there. I'm probably gonna have to replace them with the things that I have on the shelf. I have some kind of a weird power wire, does not seem factory, running all the way back. That's probably for the power of the little item carry picker upper thing that it has in the trunk there. She doesn't want that in there, so I'm going to end up taking that apart and leaving the power unit in there, but taking the whole lifting system out. I'll show you that when we get back there, but that doesn't matter because the truck doesn't necessarily drive yet. So that's where I'm at, is I'm going to replace the O2 sensor, which is right, if you can see that, because again, I have a flashlight. Oh, here we go. That right there is the O2 sensor. If you can look past the wire, that is way up high, and which is why I had to actually take this inner lining out, which I finally got out. With the problem that it is having, it could be a clogged catalytic converter, which I'm happy to see that little connection right there to the header, so I can drop it there and I can probably cut it right down below it and take it off, get a good view of it if I'm still having issues past this O2 sensor. I can finally see the connector. That was kind of hidden, like really hidden, so I have to go after that connector, get that all out of there. Hopefully I can get that out, because that's a hell of an angle to kind of cut back and try to get that out of there. So I don't have a swivel neck ratchet right now, so I might be having to go to Harbor Freight and actually get one of those little wiggly head ratchets, so I can go ahead and get that done, because I do have the O2 sensor socket, but it's not made for an angle like that. So let me see what I can do with that. I'm gonna try and proceed on, because this is literally taking up a lot of room in here. I've got a lot of other things I want to do to the Z and the truck that is sitting over there as well. So as soon as I get done with this, this one should be pretty easy. I do believe it is the EGR valve that's gone bad. Since it's got cold here in Florida, this has been acting differently on warm up, instead of it just being completely warm after 15-20 miles or something, and then it wants to start acting up. So this is actually starting to act up right in the beginning, so I do think it has something to do with the EGR valve. Like I said, I'm going to end up ordering one like really shortly from now. I did have a bunch of media for you guys, but luckily it all got deleted. It's not luckily. A lot of the media. Before I could actually start to work on the O2 sensor, and I had to make a stop to Harbor Freight, and at Harbor Freight I needed to get one of these as the bendable head, or flex head, whatever you want to call that, so I can actually get the reach to put that up here and be able to still turn. So now that I have this, and I stopped at Harbor Freight to get one of these, I think it was like 20 bucks, like basically like $22 out the door, something like that. I can actually set this down. I don't know how much you're really going to be able to see, but that is what I've got going on. I do think that this ratchet is going to actually work quite well in this situation that I need it for, but I am still having a little bit of an error mentally trying to figure out how to get to that connector there. So still got to figure that one out, but one step at a time, right? I might actually have to put this on here first. Okay. Sometimes you have to. Awesome. And it's moving back and forth. That's literally pretty much all that I needed. They run to Harbor Freight for things, and then what ends up being an hour drive to get everything, just this ratchet in this instance. And it was only used for a few moments. So I should be able to grab and go in here and turn this. Yep, I can turn it with my hand now. Let me see if I can give you guys a better view. All right. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to twist it all the way out because it is still connected and there's the tension from the actual wires. But it's a short O2 sensor and I got that side of it out. I still got to figure out how to get to that connector, so once I get that out, it should be smooth sailing. Yeah, getting that connector out that's way up behind that red wire that shouldn't be hanging there is that connector. Like, you can see the tip of it, and it doesn't want to pull out very much more. Like, that's all that it wants to pull out, and I'm not trying to, you know, have to get a new harness because I pulled some wire out of somewhere. So that's where I'm at with this thing. Unfortunately, like I think I had stated before earlier in the video, that when I started this thing, from being sitting here for a little bit, it had a lot of white smoke coming out of it, and my kid came out and said that it smelled kind of sweet even though it was coming out the exhaust, and I mentally said, oh no, because to me, if you have sweetness coming out of your exhaust, that clearly means that you have coolant going through there or going out the exhaust, because coolant smells kind of sweet out of all the different, you know, things that it could, you know, your car could smell like. So yeah, I'm concerned about that, but I'm gonna keep moving on, see if I can figure out if these catalytic converters are actually bad or not, and just keep going. See if I can get this darn plug out of here, because it is annoying. Shame on you, Dodge. This is ridiculous. After grabbing an assortment of different tools and more, there's a few more. Anyway. And the connector was the issue because I couldn't really get to it, and you kind of have to, yeah, there's a lot of stabbing going on to get that apart. So I finally got it apart, and I didn't ruin the harness, I don't think, or anything like that, but it is a little bit covered, just a little bit. It might be still not good, I don't know, but what I do know is that I have a part here. And the part comes from Jerry Tile from Ontario, California. So this should be the new oxygen sensor of some sort, which obviously first time opening this part of it. And voila! This is the new one. Looks just like the old connector. something I always do whenever I get old versus new. So I take the old one connector and the new connector and make sure that the spacing on both is precisely right. And of course, can you see that? It's not right. I don't know if this is actually going to fit in there or not. Crap. Not the right O2 sensor. And that's why I always check new versus old, because I could go right back into that little hole up there and be trying to mess around with how much I actually want to, connect to that nice yellow piece right there. Right there. But in such a small space, I really need this to fit together. So I'm going to try one time. If it doesn't actually fit together smoothly, it is what it is. I'm going to see if I can get this connected and if it's actually going to connect and butt up nicely, even then I still don't know if the wiring is correct, I should say. Because on the bottom, let's see here, bottom to bottom, we got black and a gray, then a white and a white, which it looks like the same wiring. Oh crap, okay, there it is. So all the wires look like they're in the same spot. I just need to actually see if this is going to connect or not, so go from there. And in the blink of a YouTube eye, not only is that O2 sensor actually into the pipe where it's supposed to be, but the connector is actually connected. It did work. So the female exterior slides are smaller and slide into the axis area where the male end that's on the O2 sensor actually fits. So it worked out. It's all together connected. I think it'll work. Not really sure, but gonna go ahead with that. I need to find a battery for this so then I can actually start it and not take the battery out of my truck and erase everything that's going on there. So yes, it's connected, it's in, and it's ready to go as far as the O2 sensor goes. I don't know if it's necessarily going to fix it, but I have ran across a couple times in the past where I have replaced that O2 sensor, and next thing you know, it fixes very, very similar issues that this truck is having right now. So let me go ahead and try and find a battery, I guess, and get this thing started. See, it might take me a little bit to find that battery, so I'm probably going to go ahead and throw that on the next episode. Need a battery. Hopefully that's it, and then I can just let this thing go and make room, because my goodness. When I say that I am tightly tucked in here trying to work on this, I mean, you've got to just take a look at this. I mean, yeah, I can't really fit in between there. I mean, I can, but it's not easy. I mean, obviously the refrigerator doesn't help, but obviously that's a pocket. So it's not like the truck is going to be parked in that pocket. It is just here. I'm probably going to re-grease these because these look flat, like they haven't really been pumped. They've been replaced, but not pumped full of grease. So I am probably going to do that and continue on, because I mean, I just want this thing out of here. So I got so many other things I got to do, like that car. And that one back there. And no, not that blue one back over there. But I do have other things that I want to do. I think the truck is over there. So I'm going to go ahead and mess with those things as soon as this is done. Because this truck is getting on my nerves. I'm not going to lie. Like, this truck is definitely not the easiest project. Dodge really messed up building this thing, because there is like no room to work on a lot of this. But Dodge and especially Ford are my personal kryptonite, so I need to work on actually getting better with the things that I'm not good with. So I'm gonna clean up all these tools and things. I mean, the bits that I don't need or whatever. Hopefully this thing starts up and runs well. I do appreciate everybody actually tuning in and watching for as long as you do, which however long it is, I appreciate it. If you watch more, I'd appreciate it more, obviously. I even got my machine actually all updated, minus, I guess there's two big ones that are left. I think it's a Mercedes and some other company that's left that needs to be updated. It is auto updating, but not that I have a Mercedes in here right now. Hopefully this dang thing starts and gets the heck up out of my way. Appreciate you all. Have a great day.